Every time Near Protocol rips one of its big rallies, the headline is the same. The guy who helped invent the brain behind ChatGPT made a coin. And that headline is not clickbait, it is just true. Ilya Polosukhin co-founded Near. He is also one of 8 authors on a 2017 paper called Attention is All You Need. That paper introduced the Transformer. The Transformer is the architecture underneath ChatGPT Claude, underneath nearly every large language model since. His name is the last one on that author list. That is not marketing. That is a citation. But the headline always leaves out the other half. During one of Near's hottest stretches this cycle, its own validators turned on the team. These are the people who literally run the network, and they publicly accused the core team of forcing through a change the community had already voted down. Sit with that for a second. The founder helped invent modern AI. At the same time, the network was in a public trust fight with the people who secure it. Both true. Same chain, same month. So here is the first question. How is one project this legitimate and this broken at once? The trick is to stop asking one question and start asking 2. Is the AI positioning real or just a sticker slapped on a hot narrative? And is the token economy actually healthy underneath it? Most people mash those together. They are not the same thing. Keep them apart, and the last year of Near finally makes sense. Go back to 2017. Polosukhin and an engineer named Alexander Skidanov start a company, not a blockchain, an AI company called Near.ai. The goal was to teach machines to write code from plain English. They were years early. Then they hit a wall, and the wall was not the AI, it was money. They needed coders all over the world to submit work and get paid. Paying people across borders was a broken mess. So they asked one question: why is it this hard to send money to anyone, anywhere? To fix that, an AI company spun up a blockchain team in about a week. That blockchain became Near. Mainnet went live in April 2020 on a sharded design called Nightshade. Nightshade splits the network into parallel pieces so it does not choke as usage climbs. And for a few years, that was the whole identity, a fast, cheap layer 1. For a while, that pitch worked. Then it stopped working. Not because Near got slower, because everyone else got fast too. Solana, Avalanche, Aptos, Sui. Dozens of chains all shouting the same line: we are the fast one. And last cycle, Solana basically won that argument. Being a fast layer 1 stopped being special. It became the baseline. Near was selling the one thing the entire market now had. So Near needed a different lane. And right at that moment, 3 things lined up. 1. In late 2023, Near's previous CEO left, and Polosukhin stepped off the sidelines to run the foundation himself. The man whose name is on the Transformer paper took the wheel directly. 2. ChatGPT had just detonated. The LLM explosion was on, and the architecture Polosukhin co-authored back in 2017 was suddenly the most important idea on Earth. 3. Those AI agents were going to need to transact, pay each other, settle value, without a human clicking the buttons. Which is the exact same coordination problem that turned his AI company into a blockchain in the first place. The original problem came back, just bigger than anyone imagined in 2017. So read the AI move correctly. It is not trend chasing. It is not a random pivot. It is Near running out of a commoditized race it could not win into the one lane where it holds an unfair advantage. A founder who helped invent the technology, and 5 years of live infrastructure already running underneath it. Almost nobody else in the AI crypto bucket has both. Now, let's take a look at how the founders of AI differ. In March 2026, Polosukhin told CoinDesk the users of blockchain will be AI agents, not humans. Here is what that means. Soon, your AI assistant does your shopping. It pays your bills. It moves your money while you sleep. But an AI agent cannot walk into a bank with a passport. Near wants to be those rails. It even brands itself now as the currency of agents. And Near is actually shipping. That separates it from the coins that are just a logo and a Telegram group. The flagship is Near Intense. When you buy from a foreign website, you do not calculate exchange rates or wire money through 3 banks. You tap your card. The mess happens invisibly behind the glass. Near Intense does that for crypto. You say what you want, it moves across Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and dozens of other chains for you. No manual bridging, no 12 seed phrases. And the usage is real. Near Intense just passed $20 billion in all-time volume. Watch the curve, because the curve is the whole point. It hit $5 billion in November 2025. It doubled to $10 billion by January 2026. It doubled again to $20 billion barely 5 months later. In February 2026, they packed it all into a consumer app at Near.com. Chain abstraction, AI features, and confidential transactions in one place. On raw performance, a public benchmark pushed Near past 1 million transactions per second, 70 shards, ordinary cloud hardware, reproducible by anyone who wants to check. There is more than intense. Near AI built confidential computing using hardware-level security from Intel and NVIDIA. An AI agent can process your private financial data without that data ever being exposed, not even to the people running the servers it lives on. Alongside it, quantum-resistant signatures, so a user can rotate their keys to a quantum-safe standard in a single transaction. You can see they're actually trying hard. So the first half holds up. Real founder, still at the wheel. Real products, real volume. The AI story is not the weak part. Here is the catch, and this is the part most people get completely wrong. You just heard $20 billion in volume, so Near must be swimming in revenue. It is not. For years, almost none of that usage reached the token. And there are two reasons. First, Near's fees are sub-cent by design. $20 billion in volume run over fees that round to nothing still adds up to almost nothing. Second, the fees Intents did generate were not flowing back to Near at all. There was simply no wire connecting the usage to the token. So you had a chain with real activity and a token that barely felt it. Meanwhile, the protocol was printing new tokens at a 5% annual inflation rate to pay validators and burning back almost nothing. So last year, Near moved to fix exactly that. And this is where the trust fight from the opening actually happened. They proposed cutting inflation in half, from 5% down to about 2.5%. People called it Near's halving. The vote needed a 2/3 supermajority. It got 45%, it failed. Then the core team shipped the cut anyway, inside a routine software upgrade using a separate validator upgrade mechanism. The team's defense is fair. That mechanism is not new. It has existed since mainnet in 2020. Changes only go live when most validators choose to run the new software. But Chorus One, a staking provider managing over $2.3 billion, called it out. They said it sets a dangerous precedent, and both sides are right at once. And the halving was only half of the fix. The other half flipped on in February 2026, the Near Intense fee switch. Now, the fees from all that intense volume get used to buy Near on the open market. That is the missing wire, finally connected. For the first time, usage feeds the token directly. But here is the honest status, stated plainly. It is not there yet. The buying does not outpace the issuance today. Near still prints more than it takes in. The engine needs fuel every single month. No volume, no flywheel. One more door is opening on the institutional side. Both Bitwise and Grayscale have filed for spot Near ETFs in the United States. Filings are not approvals, but it is the same kind of door that opened for Bitcoin and Ethereum before. So pull it together. Products that shipped and moved real volume. That half holds up. What is still unproven is the wire underneath. The mechanism that turns all that usage into token value only switched on in February 2026, but it's still way too small a piece of the puzzle. All right, here's the takeaway. 3 signals you want to keep an eye on. First, does Near's AI agent thesis actually line up with where the market's heading? And does that intense volume keep climbing? Second, do fee buybacks actually start outpacing Near's issuance? Third, does the protocol's profitability keep growing? Watch those 3. Ignore the headlines. That is how you will know whether Near becomes the foundation of the AI economy or just great technology the economics never caught up to. This was ZHZH Finance. Investing is the lens to see the future. Catch you next time.